King Lear, a narrative summary. In ancient Britain, the aging King Lear decides to divide his kingdom among his 3 daughters, Goneril, Regan, and Cordelia. He stages a love test, asking each daughter to declare how much she loves him. Goneril and Regan flatter him with extravagant declarations, but Cordelia, the youngest and most loyal, refuses to exaggerate her love. She speaks plainly and honestly, which enrages Lear. In a fit of anger, he disowns Cordelia and banishes her, dividing the kingdom between Goneril and Regan. The Earl of Kent, a loyal nobleman, protests Lear's decision and is also banished. Cordelia departs to marry the King of France, who values her honesty. Meanwhile, Goneril and Regan quickly reveal their true natures as selfish and power-hungry. They strip Lear of his authority and reduce him to a state of humiliation, forcing him to wander the stormy heath with only his fool and the disguised Kent for company. As Lear descends into madness, he begins to see the world more clearly, recognizing his own folly and the corruption around him. He rages against the storm, lamenting his loss of power and the betrayal of his daughters. Meanwhile, the Earl of Gloucester, another nobleman, faces his own family tragedy. His illegitimate son, Edmund, schemes to disinherit his legitimate son, Edgar. Edmund convinces Gloucester that Edgar is plotting against him, forcing Edgar to flee and disguise himself as a mad beggar named Poor Tom. Gloucester, loyal to Lear, is betrayed by Edmund and brutally blinded by Regan and her husband, the Duke of Cornwall. Gloucester is left to wander the countryside, guided by Edgar, who remains in disguise. Gloucester's suffering parallels Lear's, as both men come to understand the pain they have caused others and the true nature of their children. Cordelia returns to Britain with a French army to restore Lear's throne. Lear, now deeply remorseful, is reunited with Cordelia, and they share a tender moment of reconciliation. However, their reunion is short-lived. The British forces, led by Goneril and Regan, defeat the French army. Cordelia is captured and executed, and Lear dies of grief, cradling her lifeless body. Meanwhile, Goneril and Regan's rivalry over Edmund leads to their downfall. Goneril poisons Regan out of jealousy, and then takes her own life when her treachery is exposed. Edgar confronts and kills Edmund in a duel, revealing his true identity to his dying father, Gloucester. The play ends with the deaths of nearly all the major characters, leaving the kingdom in a state of ruin.